even though the current Brawlhalla gameplay patch is out, you are playing on Luck of the Brawl patch if you're playing at home. This is going to be that Winter Championship patch because we don't want to drop, or BMG does not want to drop a patch right before the tournament that sort of changes everything up. We want to see these players on the Winter Royale play what they played on for the Winter Championship. Nice side sig coming out from Godly, followed up by the weapon toss, and that was an easy one in the orange. Caught Raydish sleeping.
That was like almost insultingly simple for Godly. He hit the side sig, hit the weapon toss, and just watched. He just stood at the edge of the cliff as Raydish had that kind of Looney Tunes moment of like, I don't have enough movement here.
And that's where like we saw, oh my, for real? Okay.
They're about to both have double digits damage if this continues the way it's going. And that's because Godly is just getting the simplest taps that are just enough to deny touches to Radish.
I was about to say after seeing last set that like, I'm a little bit sweating that I didn't put Kinda first. Now that I see this, you know, I'm still okay that I put Godly first. I'm not sweating that just yet.
All right, Godly starting to bust out the sword. We're starting to see these stocks last a little bit longer than 30 seconds, but Raydish trying to deny that 3-stock here. Needs a little bit more damage as Godly going for the vertical swing.
There's the side air. Can Raydish deny the 3-stock here? Still, Godly hits the side air and the turnaround side sig, and that's where we're seeing a complete departure from last game. Is we saw some great sword play, but we've now seen Godly with the sword in his hand do most of the work this game. We've seen the side sigs as well. Kinda wasn't doing that at all. So you're seeing two of the strongest players in their region playing the exact same legend, but playing it in a much different way. I can't wait to see Godly versus Kinda.
That's going to be an amazing set. Of course, we'll get to see it because, again, round robin means everybody fights everybody. Raydish, though, wants to fight for a final stock, and he is going to get it with the ground pound. The gauntlet's coming out for Raydish, and I almost want to see him stick to it, and that's what he's going to do. He actually didn't have a choice, but he's sticking with it.
He denied the 3, then he denied the 2-stock. Let's see if he can come back in this one. That side air, that's going to send him flying. See him using his dodge to get over the wall. No major commitment coming out from Godly because he knew all it took was one good hit, one KO move, 327 damage. That is 109 averaged per stock when he got the KO. That is almost an orange KO for every KO. Well, it's technically an orange because you're orange at 100. So yeah, that's wild. There's almost a yellow KO for every KO. Unprecedented coming out from Godly.
It was a 3 damage difference, but Godly did so much of that damage at the final moments there because the first 2 stocks were so simple for him. And now it's over to game number 2, and we're going to Small Brawl Haven. I almost believe that like Demon Island was left on the board, and Radish was like, yeah, that didn't work out for me.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to go back to that stage with those tiny walls. Now, this is going to be a small stage in terms of like left and right lateral movement that you can make on the stage, and also the blast zones are going to be really, really close. But it didn't seem like that was the main thing that could change the outcome here, because Godly, again, just running everything, doesn't quite get the yellow and orange KOs that we saw last game, but he's still going to find a 39-second KO here with a D-Light recovery off of the top when Radish was in red.
Dude, Godly is he's just on point. He is so ready. You talked about him being locked in, wanting to win this one, and you can see it in the gameplay. He has so many correct options.
Almost picked up that ground pound that forced Radish to go down, and because of that, the D-Light ground pound, Radish barely touches the stage, turns it around, gets the ground pound, and gets that first stock of Godly. But we're still seeing that like that Godly swagger come out, and like that, it's not getting him into trouble here because he's still in such a massive lead, and I think because he's so focused, he just has to like flip that switch from doing like the crazy plays to doing the more standard plays, and he's going to be in a good spot. But Radish fighting his way back in this one, also hit that neutral signature, sent flying Godly with the neutral light, not having quite as easy of a time this game. Radish pretty even with him here, even though he sent right.
Burning a lot of movement there, but still manages to find that touchdown, that side air kind of dissuading Godly from trying to punish the landing. N-Sig thrown out. Godly goes for the weapon toss. Another N-Sig this time gets line of sight, will catch Godly.
Beautiful placement in that. We talked about the dare from his orb earlier, but that GC N-Sig also had to be placed so perfectly to still have line of sight to actually make contact there. So Raydish, again, actually, even though he's just a little bit behind here, like he's still showing such a mastery of this character.
Gonna juggle weapons for a moment. Back to the orb, that comfort weapon of Raydish. He got a lot of momentum on that second stock, and he's finding more here. 4 hits unresponded to.
Now he was able to keep Godly weapons starved, but he got over to that sword, just barely underspacing that, or overspacing that with the sidelight. Godly finding his way back in, really controlling the ground, moving over towards the corner. Nice turnaround neutral there from Radish.
Yeah, got a nice 2-piece there onto Godly. The down air will bounce up, catches Godly. He's getting the damage. Down sig, not going to connect.
Godly spending a lot of time in the air, trying to find his way in. Started off with a weapon toss into the D-Light, but immediately 2-hit answer. He almost got hit with the final active frames, but no, his punish was too tight. And that is going to be Raydish taking game 2. The mental must be strong from Raydish after getting destroyed in game 1, still having enough to dial it back in and take game 2.
And you're seeing it's not like a fire-up where he's just going for even more absurd options, burning more. Instead, it's kind of like this, like, reaffirmation that he just needs to play his game, play the orb game, play a little bit clean and simple, play on stage, play it smart, get those quick hits, and then you'll be walking away with victory as he's tied it up 1-1.
A little bit of unarmed damage coming out, but he is able to get over to the gauntlets pretty quickly. Is Godly going to extend off stage? Doesn't look like he's going to do it this game. He wants to make sure this game is not close.
Down toss, but he manages to find that gravity cancel downlight nair. Oh, they were high in the sky, but Raydish could not find that second hit.
D-Light side air is going to send Radish over onto the edge. Again, no major offstage commitment from Godly. He did get himself into a little bit of trouble last game when he was really pushing for those. He was feeling confident after he got him game 1, but now he needs to dial it back in. Turn the swagger down a little, which he's doing, but they are even. Nice down there with the bounce off the stage into Godly over on the edge. Man, that was shades of a perk, a pivot there from Radish. He's going to go under the stage.
Man, what an interaction there as Godly was behind the N-Sig and had the punish opportunity, just hit the dare, but couldn't convert that to a KO. N-Sig this time. Godly, he's playing around it so clean.
He's dancing in and out of that. I feel like that's someone shooting bullets at your feet and you're just dancing around trying to get away from him, but it was Radish's neutral signature.
But the damage has been done. Raydish with that stock advantage, and he's getting extra. Godly doesn't find the recovery.
He's standing still over on the corner, able to get through, behind, around, and throw out the signature for the KO. Even game between these two players. Man, I really got to hand it to Raydish. The fact that he is essentially even in this game, also even in the set after that game 1. I underestimated Raydish this weekend.
But he's got to be careful about that movement. He burns a lot there, still manages to get the wall touch. Nice nair to keep that pressure off of him, but Godly comes down, hits that dare, hits the downlight.
Oh, Raydish. I think, is that the first connection we've seen?
And that, it doesn't matter because it led to a KO too.
Yeah, it's either the first connection of that we've seen from Raydish or the second connection of that we've seen from Raydish so far this weekend. Giving him a nice lead, and Petra's a pretty tanky legend as well.
I mean, she comes in, definitely a lot of people will look at that strength stat first, but like you said, she's got some health to play with here. She can take a couple of hits before she gets chunked out, even on small Brawlhaven. No edge guard from Godly, like you said. He hasn't been committing to those like deep ground pounds or anything like that.
There is a weapon spawn. Godly was just playing around it, immediately grabbed it. The orb was in his hand, which means the next weapon he picks up is going to be the gauntlets.
Yeah, almost a bait from Godly there, but there's the gauntlets. Raydish, not a complete slouch on him, but he's getting juggled at the top of the map.
Nair recovery nair just hurts to get hit by a sword player. What a spot dodge! Gravity canceled it into the D-Light, little bit of the drop there coming out.
Raydish manages to open up Godly, but Godly is finding hits onto Raydish. N-Sig is just enough. Small Brawlhaven plus high force on Petra means that game 3 goes to Raydish's favor. He's one away from continuing on.
This is a big surprise for me. I think this is a big surprise for a lot of people as well. I said it again. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Based on the performance that we've seen so far from Raydish, I 100% underestimated him this weekend. I didn't think he was going to get necessarily last, but I don't know if I would have predicted a 2-1 against Godly, especially after the dominant performance we saw from Godly in Game 1. But now Radish is up. He was able to dial it back, dial it in. Just incredible gameplay from Radish on this Petra, and Godly is swapping.
Is this a salt swap from Godly? I mean, I know he's got gauntlets, but at the same time, like, the last time we saw someone swap to their opponent's character was Knees swapping to the Asuri, and he kind of got handled by Kaina. Now we're seeing Godly. He's busting out an orb of his own to go up against Radish, and you know what? He's trading back and forth.
Looking up his Petra stats right now. Petra is his 12th highest level legend. He has a level 41 Petra, so he spent some time on this legend. Mordex is going to be his second highest level, so that'll be his highest gauntlet legend. As he picks up the gauntlet ground pound onto Radish, a 39-second KO here.
Some good movement from Godly led to that ground pound. Now it's back to the orb. Radish, there's the weapon spawn. Orb beat orb. And one thing that's going to be rough for Radish is like just the pacing swap from Godly. It is feeling different, but the down air feels exactly the same for Radish.
Juggling those weapons, sticking with the orb, no surprise there. Godly's able to grab the first weapon. It's going to be those gauntlets. Now, just for a little bit further information, Godly's highest leveled orb legend is going to be the Petra. I don't think anyone's really surprised by that. Nice ground pound. Radish, again, going under the stage.
Yeah, he's disengaging, does not want to risk those edge guards. He knows, I mean, Game 1 was kind of lost off the back of those edge guards from Godly. Nice read, but he doesn't hit the nair, still manages to convert to more.
Godly's not going to get hit by that one a second time. Neutral air just kind of poking Radish away. You're seeing Godly kind of play with his ranges. Nobody wants that weapon spawn on the field until they get disarmed or have to throw away their weapon to maybe secure a landing or get back to stage or put something above their head, but nobody's going to get the chance until Raydish gets the stock, moves over, starts juggling those orbs, looking like a circus clown, but his gameplay is anything from clown behavior.
No clowning Raydish here as he is up 2-1, both in games and in stocks over Godly. And Godly, he needs to finish the stock off if he wants the opportunity for a Game 5 here.
There's the recovery. He got the backside of it. Ends up taking off the top. Pretty even game. Nice job weapon starving. We haven't seen either or any of these players today so far really focus on the weapon starving whatsoever. I think it's especially effective against Radish since he's more of an orb player, even though we've seen a lot of great gameplay from his gauntlets, and that's what we're seeing right now. Almost gets the KO on the top. The weapon toss. I thought he was going to go for the immediate like neutral signature or something up the pickup with the weapon stun, but it's the recovery taking off the top. Godly's first set is an L, and it's to Raydish.
Raydish with, by and large, an upset. Again, Godly definitely upset about that one. Chat members definitely upset about that one because so many people have underestimated Raydish today, and of course, that